Hi, guys. We are back with another week of explosive pop culture news and all of the things that have gone viral that you need to know about, that you didn't know you needed to know about, or things you wish you didn't know about and now are going to know more about. So let's get into it. It's time.
On Thursdays.
That's my new intro. How do we like it, guys? I don't know. I'm going to play around with things, but you already know the title. It's in the song. You know who I am. If you don't, welcome to Pop Culture Mondays on Thursdays. We have a lot to discuss. I don't even know where to begin, but first, I have to recover from a massive error from last week's pod. I didn't catch it. Ethan, you didn't catch it because you're not a pop culture junkie like me. The person who caught it was the person whose name drop I did by accident, and that was my friend Matt Young. So I was talking about Las Culturistas, the Culture Awards with Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers. But I kept saying Matt Young because my friend and neighbor is the brilliant and wonderful Matt Young, who I hope is listening to this now at the gym and is like, that's me. He texted me and I was so confused. And I then realized, oh my God, throughout the podcast, I referred to Matt Rogers as Matt Young. So little Freudian slip there. I had just been over at their house for dinner, Matt Young's, and I was, what can I say? I had him on the brain. So I wanted to correct that. I know there are a lot of you that were probably like, what the fuck was that about? But I have remedied my errors. I will do that. Every now and then there will be mistakes, and I hope to rectify them here as much as possible. So before we get into the news, I wanted to share with you the fact that this weekend I saw Weapons. I am wearing my glasses, by the way, not only because this is a lesson today. We are doing a little back to school lesson. We'll get into it, but because it's happened. You get into your 50s and they do tell you. I had friends that would be like, oh, your eyesight's going to go like that. Well, I noticed that things were being blurry and so forth. And so I have these glasses like to sort of look at things when I'm driving or watching TV. And I wore them to the movie theater last night to see Weapons. And it was quite impactful, the difference. So I am now like the studious Brooke, which is just smoke and mirrors, by the way. But let me not digress. Weapons. I am telling you guys. So horror is not my genre particularly. And when I say that, yes, I love vampire movies and I love zombie movies. So Sinners, 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, 28 Years Later, sign me up. But they're scary and they're gory, but I don't necessarily classify them as horror. I classify horror as Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, like classic horror. And horror for me has a very sensitive thing to it because I had to see a child psychologist as a child due to night terrors brought on by watching horror movies. And the horror movies are not what you would think. It was The Blob. Specifically The Blob. My brother had me see it. This is like late 70s, maybe 1980. It's an old movie. I could not take a bath or go to the bathroom because I was convinced, like hysterical. I was hysterical. I don't even know what my parents did to my brother, who's much older than me. And they were very unhappy. But I would not sit on the toilet or take a bath. I was terrified because I thought the blob was going to come up through the drain. Okay? Another horror movie that absolutely undid me, and now looking back is so funny because it's a funny movie, was American Werewolf in London. And that really disturbed me. Like I couldn't walk on grass as a kid for a while because I was terrified that a werewolf was going to come and get me. And I thought I got through it. We're talking like I was 6 or 7. But then years later when I'm, 19 or 20, I was studying at Cambridge in England. And I was walking home to my dorm after an evening in the park at Cambridge with Shakespeare in the park, as one does when you're in Cambridge. And I was very sophisticated. I was wearing like my hippie dress and I had a leather satchel / backpack. And I was sort of like eyeing a cute British boy. And it was late because the sun goes down late in the summer in England and it was a late show. So it was still dusk. It was probably like 9 something. And I just remember I was by myself and I was walking through this green, and all of a sudden my heart started to race and I got palpitations, and I was like, the werewolf is going to get me. The werewolf is going to get me. Like, in my mind, I had to get onto cement off the green, like park wise, where the werewolf was. Like, it's not rational. So this is a long way of saying, like, I'm not a horror movie person. I saw Nightmare on Elm Street at a sleepaway, slumber party rather, I would say I was in 4th or 5th grade. And again, like, sleepless nights, had to sleep in my parents' room. I, to this day, can't watch that movie. I cannot watch Friday the 13th. Those are horror movies. And I certainly have never seen them in a movie theater. So this was a new one for me, and Weapons was the movie that got me to go to see a horror movie in the theater. But, and there's a big but, it's a very smart movie. It is a brilliant movie. So I have notes, guys, because now that I have glasses, I can't really be expected to remember everything. So let me just be clear. Weapons is billed as a horror movie. It's also hilarious. Like, it's truly a very funny movie. And it is also a very intelligent movie. And the cast, chef's kiss. So Julia Garner, who I don't know if that's true that she's playing Madonna in a biopic, but like, perfect. Like, Who's That Girl Hair? She's done it. Nailed it. Benedict Wong, who is genius and so good in this role. Like, you have to see this movie. I don't know what else to say. Josh Brolin, who I have loved since Goonies. I mean, really. And if you know, you know. And Amy Madigan, which is a blast from the past, who's married to Ed Harris, another one that is on my list. And again, if you know, you know. And Zach Kreger is the director. He is really one of the sort of next big things. I think this is a big thing. I had not seen Barbarians, which is his movie prior to this, and I'm going to watch that tonight. So just FYI, this movie cost $38 million to make, according to the reports. And so far, and I think it's been open 2 weeks, has grossed over $150 million, and it's not stopping. This movie is something. It was filmed in Georgia. It's beautiful. It's meant to take place in Pennsylvania. It's so smart the way this movie was made. It was so different, and it's terrifying, but it's also hilarious. And seeing it in a movie theater, remember, the best thing I can just say is Thriller, the video, the music video, and Michael Jackson and the girlfriend sitting in the movie theater, and everybody's in it, and they're all in it, and then they go into the video. It's like, that's the only way I can describe it. Watching it in a movie theater, first of all, everyone is already pumped up because Nicole Kidman, we were at an AMC. Nicole Kidman got us in the mood. Minute Nicole Kidman comes out with her silver sequincy suit, everyone, all the kids in particular, because it's like a meme now, laughing, clapping. So we're already in that mood. And then the movie itself, people are laughing together, screaming, shrieking, cheering, and like, no, why would you do that? Cringing, but we're all doing it together. It was so fun. Like, I can't explain how much fun it was, but everyone was in it. Nobody was disengaged from this. Nobody was on their phones. We were locked in, and there were parts of the film that are silent, and we're sitting there. You could hear a pin drop in that theater. It was great. Everybody clapped at the end, like clapped. Guys, I just can't tell you how joyful of a movie experience it was. The movie is incredible. And if you get scared, I get it. It's not a, feel good movie, but there are parts of it that are quite genius, and the making of it, like the way they made it is so smart. And they have to have a prequel. They absolutely have to have a prequel, but I'm just going to tell you, Auntie Gladys, this lady right here, that is going to be the Halloween costume. That is going to be one of the top tier Halloween costumes. No question. She's like a little like Mrs. Roper on LSD, right? Like, for Gen X, we know. That's what it is. She's Mrs. Roper on LSD, and that is a costume I can get behind. That is a costume I feel like I know, I understand. I heart it. I really am. And before we get into the topic of the day, which obviously is Taylor Swift, there is something that I will be talking about next week. I have not seen it yet, but some of you may have seen the media sensation that is happening right now with Monica Lewinsky, who is on a PR blitz. She is the producer of this new show on Hulu about Amanda Knox. And actually, she and Amanda Knox have been doing a lot of like a press junket. You tell me how gorgeous Monica Lewinsky is. Like, I mean, I love her. She is my friend. But even if I did not know her, this woman is like, we have seen her grow up in front of us. We have known her. She and I are the same age. I have seen this woman evolve into this powerhouse. She's just so smart, so brilliant, but also so spectacularly beautiful and poised. And now behind this show, and the show is called The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox. It's on Hulu. It drops this week. I can't wait to dig into it. My friend Melissa told me that she binge watched everything. It's so good. I can't wait. I mean, you remember Foxy Knoxy. We remember her. Amanda Knox was an exchange student living in, I think, like Perugia. She was in Italy and had a roommate and I think worked at a bar, just started dating this like dashing Italian guy who's sort of like Harry Potter vibes. And she came home to find her roommate slaughtered. And she maybe wasn't the most, I don't know, PR savvy in terms of how she handled the press attention and the scrutiny. She didn't have her family there. She didn't speak fluent Italian. She had this new boyfriend. She obviously didn't think she was a suspect because she didn't do it, but the media sort of honed in on her, made her this meme before memes existed. She became Foxy Knoxy and ended up being convicted and was sent to prison, and so was he. And what a story. And so I can't wait to see this show. It's going to be a good one. It's one of those things that we binge watch. You think you know everything, but then you'll be like, wait, what? So that is what I'm going to be doing for the next week. I'm going to watch Barbarians. Also a movie that everyone has been talking about that I missed completely, came out years ago with Hugh Jackman and I think Jake Gyllenhaal, called Prisoners. Why did I miss this? This is another like perfect Brooke genre movie. It's on Netflix. It's streaming. Everybody's like, if you love this movie Weapons, you're going to love Prisoners, even though it's not in that horror mode, but it's like thriller. So that is going to be my week. The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox and Barbarians and Prisoners, with a little bit of a social life and my day job mixed in. Okay, guys, got to breeze through this, but Taylor Swift, the world stopped. The world stopped. I have, of course, had recorded this podcast, and then the very next day, they drop a teaser. And when I say they, it's the New Heights podcast, which is Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce, the brothers, who, even if there was no Taylor Swift, it's a great podcast. They make me wish that I was in that family. I really wish I was a Kelce. I think a lot of us relate to that. I don't have siblings like that in that sense of the word, in that relationship. And it just seems like, God, what a great family. Really, really great. They have fun. And this week, or last week really, they dropped a zinger. You have Jason, you have Travis, and then you have Taylor. So all of us have seen it by now, but just in case, this was the first teaser that dropped.
Such a nice color on you.
Yes, I know. It's the color of your eyes, sweetie. That's why we match so well.
We're about to do a podcast.
Yeah. So the world stands still. We're like, what? She's blacked out the album. We're like, what? What is going on? This will be her 12th album. If you know anything about Taylor Swift, you know that she is a big fan of Easter eggs. So hiding things, messages in everything that she's done, going back, like she has like a time machine. So she was able to go back in time and like lay these Easter eggs down for the future. It's crazy. She's also really big into numerology, very much so. So numbers play a big part in everything T Swift. So ultimately, they dropped the little clip announcing the album name, which turns out to be The Life of a Showgirl. They drop it at 12:12 a.m. Eastern time. So it was 9:12 my time, p.m. A lot of people stayed awake for it late. 12:12 a.m. on August 12th, announcing the name of her 12th album, The Life of a Showgirl.
So I wanted to show you something.
Okay. What do we got?
We got,
A briefcase.
yep,
Mint green with TS
Yep.
on it.
yep.
What's in it?
This is my brand new album, The Life of a Showgirl.
TS12!
Did you have an existential crisis about how important this was to some people and how much it wasn't important to other people? I don't know. To me, it was important to everyone. Every single place that I went into was talking about it. People were talking about it. And we'll talk about it in a minute, how many brands were talking about it, how many social media managers were incredibly busy that 24-hour period. So let's just be clear. This album is going to really be a huge hit. There's lots of coded messages just in her long interview that she did on this podcast. And this, we should say, I think this is Taylor's first podcast. She even says this is my first podcast. So I think that's right. And so longest we've ever heard her speak. And I just have to say, you're talking about arguably the most famous person in the world. And yet she's so normal on this. She's just there with her boyfriend. And the program, the podcast is so good. It's not just about the album. I mean, it sort of shows this family togetherness that they are, the two brothers, the girlfriend. You can just see how much fun they have at family events and so forth. But also, you hear a lot about how the genesis of their relationship, the famous sort of way they met, because Travis went on his podcast to say that he was in love with Taylor, wanted to meet her, wanted to date her, saw the tour, knew that she was the girl for him, but he couldn't meet her at the show. So she talks about he never alerted anybody that he was going to be at the stadium because he just didn't do that. So it was a very, very funny exchange about that. They talk just about their lives and their relationship and the fact that she wrote this album while touring the Eras Tour, which is arguably the biggest selling tour of all time. She did 51 cities. She was on the road for felt like 5 years. I saw some of these shows. She performs 3 hours, sometimes 3+ hours every night. And she was in the throes of a new, very exciting, very, very high profile relationship. And she wrote an album. So I love this kid, I love this.
Did anyone else feel immense shame after watching Taylor Swift on the New Heights podcast because you learned that while she was on an international tour doing a 3-hour concert every night, she was also recording her next album? Meanwhile, you've had your laundry just sitting on the floor for the last week and a half and you're not going to do it. I mean, I'm still not going to do it, but now I just feel really bad about it. So just me or anybody else?
Yeah, my laundry's been sitting, piling up for a week. I can there's a can of Diet Coke on my desk that should have been brought down. I'm ugh. She is such an overachiever. I'm so excited when I actually check all my checklists off because I write a checklist each day. And if I get all of them, which is very, very rare, which includes getting exercise in and walking the dog amongst all of the work stuff and chores and things, that is a stellar day. I cannot imagine being in the throes of a new relationship, being on the biggest tour of the world where I'm giving 3+ hours of my life and then not just sleeping all day, every day, whenever I can. Instead, she's writing an album. So here we go. And this album is going to be massive. I mean, I love that Dave Portnoy, the former misogynist founder of Barstool Sports, has already decided that this is his favorite album.
All right, I got to apologize to the Swifties. It's 6:30 a.m. Listen, I've been traveling. I'm in the Ozarks. Yeah, the TV show, Lakes, beautiful. Woke up at 4 a.m., caught up on the New Heights podcast with Taylor. First of all, shout out Taylor. She looks like she's in a beautiful spot. I think they're going to get married. Very happy for Mother. Now, let's talk about what I'm happy for me for and for the Swifties. October 3rd, Life of a Showgirl. I listened to her talk about this album. It's almost like she wrote me another handwritten letter. Like, hey, Dave, this is going to be a combo between 1989 and folklore. Puppy songs. I like puppy songs. Everybody knows that. I like them. I like puppy songs. I like kind of cheesy stories, love stories, fast beat, upbeat songs that you're whistling in your head, can't get out of your head, that play a million times on the radio. Yes, that's my type of music. So this, when she's like, I'm in a great spot in my life, they're all upbeat, they're happy, they're all gonna be like #1 monster hits. There's 12 songs, they're perfect, it's a puzzle, they fit together. That to me, and I know it's a big statement, I think this is gonna be my favorite album of all time. I think this is gonna be an album that wasn't written for Dave Portnoy, but was written for Dave Portnoy. October 3rd, Life of a Showgirl. I think it's going to be 12, not 11, 12 #1 hits. Can't wait. Everything's going great if you're a Swiftie.
Without obviously hearing a note, this is his favorite album. And I think it's because there's so much meaning to it. She talks about this. This isn't about breakup. This isn't about that. This is about the behind the scenes of what it takes to sort of be a showgirl. Now let's talk about some Easter eggs, and then we'll finish it off with a little showcasing of how the brands had some fun with it. So Taylor's very into numerology. I cannot even begin to uncover all of the things that the Swifties have and cover all of that because we would be here for days. But they are crime scene investigators. They are CIA operatives. They are MI5 specialists. These kids are able to map shit together like in a, the wall with the string, like this TikTok shows it.
Hey, babe. Maybe you should take a break.
No, see, I believe last year, April 19th, Taylor Unfollowed, Joel win. But when the new album comes out, April 19th. And what does Lana have to do with this? I'm not resting till I find out.
You're doing great work, sweet.
It's so that, like, that's exactly what these kids are doing. So I am just scratching the surface, but to give you guys a little bit of understanding of what people are talking about. So there is a lot of theories that she's going to be performing in Vegas, that she's going to do a residency at the Sphere. Obviously, the Showgirl throwback to OG Vegas days. And she talks a lot about how many cities she went to and all the traveling and so forth. So some are jumping to the conclusion that this is going to be a moment where she stays still and sort of lets the Sphere do its thing, which I think would be an incredible, it would be great boon for Vegas, which is having a bit of its own negative PR these days about how bad Vegas is. Nobody's there and they're having an economic crisis. Taylor can save Vegas. But the Sphere, as we've already talked about with Backstreet Boys, I Saw You Too there, is really one of the most incredible experiences. So we'll just have to see. But the bigger theory and like what people are thinking were dropped in every other sort of word on this podcast is that she's going to be the halftime performer at this year's Super Bowl, which is in February, taking place in Santa Clara, California, the home of the 49ers at Levi's Stadium. So we have a few things to talk about why they think this. So in the podcast, she mentions two numbers specifically several times. The number 47, she talks about like 47,000, 47 seconds, 47, I don't even remember all the context. She also talks about 60. She says 60, like she talks about sourdough a lot and how 60% of her life is focused on sourdough, but she brings that up quite a bit. So what does that all mean? So the 47th show of her Eras tour was in Santa Clara at Levi's Stadium. I was there. Okay, so there's that. I'm sure there's more, but there is that. Then, and back to like the number 12, she posted pictures of herself from the Santa Clara Stadium in front of doors that say 12. And that was like Easter eggs back then during the Eras tour. So they're already thinking, like, did they know back then? I'm sure these conversations were starting. Maybe that's why she started working on the album. Like, I could be the halftime performer February 2026. Who knows? She talks about 60,000, whatnot. This Super Bowl is the 60th Super Bowl, okay? Sourdough. So it's the 60th Super Bowl. It's taking place at Santa Clara at the home of the 49ers. Who is the 49ers mascot? Sourdough Sam. By the way, never knew that. Never knew that's who that was. Did not know. I thought the 49ers had I don't understand. But Sourdough Sam is the 49ers mascot. So, like, it's hard to say that these kids are wrong, but, like, just to give you even more, because I can't even get through it. Listen to her.
Taylor Swift is performing at the Super Bowl halftime show this year, 2026, in Levi's Stadium. Why do I think that? One, the 49ers play in Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. And the mascot for the 49ers is Sourdough Sam. And she spent a whole lot of time talking about sourdough. So she's like pointing us to sourdough. Anyway, also she said 47 and 47,000. We all heard that. 47 seconds, 47,000 cities. And the 47th show of the Eras Tour was in Santa Clara at Levi Stadium. Also, she said she's thinking about sourdough 60% of the time, and this will be Super Bowl 60.
Yeah. So there's a lot. There is a lot. And also, these kids are geniuses. Some of these kids already had mapped out some of the signals that they saw on the Eras Tour and now have been proven correct. So there was this orange theme popping up on the Eras Tour. She introduced mid-tour a new outfit that was orange, a couple new outfits that were orange. And then the last show, she walked through an orange door. And everyone's like, that is like the next era. And here we are. We are a bask in orange. And I know we're Trump free, but every once in a while, rules have to be broken. This is one of my funnier TikToks I saw.
Salt air and the rest on your door.
Which is right. This person is waiting for two orange things to drop. The album, and we know the other. Listen, I am not saying it. I am just repeating. We're waiting for two orange things to drop. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. Drop means different things in different ways, but if you know, you know. So I think that's like all of the mapping, all of the different crazy Easter eggs. There are a million more. I mean, I didn't even talk about the Kanye stuff, but there's theories that she called it the life of a showgirl. Kanye's album from back in 2016 was the life of Pablo. If you search, it's the life of a showgirl is going to come up before the life of Pablo. So it's just like, and if that is true, that's a level of petty I fully support. Like, I fully commit to that level of pettiness. Like, I want to be at that level of pettiness. She's also wearing a Cartier Panthère necklace, which I covet. She's also wearing a Cartier watch. Somebody was like, it's just like yours. And I was like, there was 120,000 differences between her Cartier watch and my Cartier watch. But I'll take it. But her Panther necklace is the same necklace that Kanye was wearing on the red carpet when he made his prisoner wife drop all of her clothes where she stood naked. So, I mean, that's a lot of symbolism, but I want to close out on the T-Swift stuff because this will not be the first or the last time. I will say, if you're a brand and you partook in this moment, I mean, your social media managers all deserve a raise. I've never seen anything like it. Also, if you're a brand or a company or anything and you want to announce something really big and you're looking at October 3rd, I would move your date, because that will get lost. October 3rd is Taylor Day. That is the life of a showgirl. Nothing else matters. If you are a brand or company that has bad news, put it out October 3rd. So the brands know, because the social media managers of all of the brands were working double time. And I mean, these brands, when in it, they're not in partnership with Taylor Swift. They're not making money. Taylor Swift isn't a brand ambassador to these brands. They just were like, we need our customers to know we're on the T-Swift bandwagon. And I mean every brand. There is M&M's. There's American Airlines, United Airlines, Olive Garden, Quinn, the app that you listen to that plays, sexy stories. You know what I mean? Like the auditory sexy stuff. I mean, I could sit here all day and rattle off every company. You think of a company, McDonald's? Oh yeah, they were in it. And Levi's themselves got into it, which is also fueling the fire by what they did. They had, the Levi's brand put this out. And the 49ers put this out.
What's going on here? Why is everyone acting weird towards me?
No, we're not. You're chill. Come on.
No, seriously.
It's truly something. And the Chiefs even had to obviously acknowledge what was happening. And I thought they did it in such a brilliant way. This is obviously one of their star players and their coach.
Excuse me, do you work here? No, just a huge fan.
I mean, it's just so much joy, right? Like, I think that we're in a moment where weapons and that kind of movie is really important for people because the world is so fucked up that comedy can't get us through it. Comedy just can't get us to escape. Horror, our life isn't that bad. Like, we're not becoming weaponized children. I'm not going to give away the movie, but that's a horror. I do think that the world is so fucked up that we're turning to horror to get our minds through it. That's why Final Destination, all these movies are doing really, really well. But then there's that sweet side of things, and that is our Taylor Swift. And I think Taylor has brought the world together as well. And these brands and everybody, it was like, you couldn't get away from it. Some will say it's over commercialized, perhaps, but for a minute, it was like, this is Trump must have been so mad because all of the oxygen, he could have literally announced a peace deal with Ukraine and nobody would have cared. Ukraine and Russia, battle's over. Gaza and Israel, war is over. Literally wouldn't have been the headline news. It still would have been Taylor Swift. And that's where our attention was. That's where we needed as a society. So bravo to Taylor. Bravo to the Kelsey brothers, bringing us a little joy. Let's see if this is going to be the halftime show. I'm all for it. I'm so hoping. Oh my God, it would be amazing. But we have to move on to some other things because there were other things that happened, and I wanna talk about it. So we're gonna stay in football just ever so slightly. You guys have probably seen there's a lot of drama with the Minnesota Vikings, and I would say the only drama is that whether you're MAGA or hard, ultra conservative right, or a repressed gay, then you had a problem with it. And maybe they're all together, like the evangelical, MAGA, repressed gay, like a Lindsey Graham. They can't handle male cheerleaders. And the Vikings not only have male cheerleaders, other football teams have male cheerleaders. They have 2 male cheerleaders, which is the first time an NFL team has had 2. And one of them is the lead cheerleader. So here they are, and that is Blaze. I can't pronounce their names. I don't know if it's Chic. He is very chic. Shiek and Louis Kahn. These are great names. Blaze and Louis, they are the cheerleaders. And there is a lot of upset by that particular faction of society. But for the most part, there is a lot of joy and a lot of celebration.
I'm so freaking frustrated right now, dude. I just found out the Vikings are going to have 2 freaking dudes out there dancing with women as cheerleaders. When I turn on football on Sunday morning, all I want to do is see buff, muscle hamster, sweaty men touch each other viciously. I don't want to see any of those freaking men cheerleading. They need to be touching each other all sweatily and angrily
And I love how the cheerleaders handled the criticism. They just were like, whatever, you be you and we'll be us. And they killed it and people are having fun.
If you don't like me, that's fine. But, watch your mouth.
And if you guys have a problem with male cheerleaders, Ronald Reagan was a cheerleader. George W. Bush was a male cheerleader. So just get your facts straight and try to figure out that it's not all drama case. This is not new. This has been there. And I'm sorry if this guy is pretty and wears lip gloss. That is so upsetting to you. So anyway, the Vikings, hats off to you. Some people are calling it their Bud Light moment, but I don't think it's quite that level. I think a lot of people are supporting them. So here. Now, I do have my glasses on because this is a back to school moment. A lot of you have kids going back to school, or a lot of you have grandkids. A lot of you have friends with kids, aunties like me. You're going to hear slang. And we've talked about slang here before, but just like to give you a little tidbit, I think this was just announced this week. Skibbity, Delulu, and tradwife have all been put into, I think it's the Webster Dictionary, and they are official words now. Skibbity, tradwife, and Delulu, terms we have talked quite a bit about, both at the newsletter and on the podcast. So I thought we would talk about some new trending slang as school is back in session, and you may hear it from the kids in your life, see it on social, whatnot. So just a few of the things. Lock in, that is a term that's been around, but they are really using it. Lock in, focusing intensely on something, pretty self-explanatory. Another self-explanatory one, crash out. We're hearing a lot of it, though. It's a resurgence of the term crash out, but meaning acting recklessly, messing up, overreact, throwing a fit, like he's totally crashing out. I mean, I use this, but this is a big one that they're using. Op, that's another one. Of course, it's from gaming, means enemy or someone not on their side. We've talked about this before. It's both serious and playful. Chopped, a resurgence of this is another older term. It means ugly, like that's really chopped, like you look chopped today, which is true. Okay, this is a tough one. It's not even a word, it's an acronym, and I don't know if you say it, so forgive me, but it's SDIYBT, Stiddy-yipped. I don't think you say it. SDIYBT, which stands for Start Digging in Your Butt Twin. That's right. Start digging in your butt twin. Yeah, this one definitely needs an explainer. It's become a thing, I guess, from this meme that came from SpongeBob. Obviously. So before I continue, let's SpongeBob take it away.
And I want you to make me a Krabby Patty!
Start digging in your butt, twin.
What?
I think it literally means pulling a wedgie from your butt, but the kids are using it in every which way. They're just going to throw it around, and you can just see kids being like, ha ha ha, start digging in your butt, twin. I'm not here to make sense of it. I'm just here to grok it and tell you so you can grok it. And then these are two numbers. We're back in the numerology world that are going viral for different reasons. The number 67, which has come and maybe on the way out, but the phrase 67 or just 67, and mainly Gen Alpha. This is all Gen Alpha stuff, and it's TikTok. It originated from the drill rap song Doot Doot 67 by Skrilla. I can't even believe I'm saying this. By Skrilla, which references 67th Street in Chicago. And this audio clip blew up online because it, like, the edits featuring LaMelo Ball, who's 6'7". You listen.
What time was that? Around like 6, 7.
I just been right on the highway.
What do the numbers 6, 7, the basketball player LaMelo Ball, and the rapper Skrilla have in common? Well, they're all involved in this latest TikTok trend.
6, 7.
On December 1st, 2024, Skrilla released the song Doot Doot with a music video on YouTube. At one point in the song, Skrilla says 6'7" in reference to 67th Street in Chicago.
I know way that switch, I know he died. 6, 7.
I can't explain it. Again, I'm just here to tell you. I know I am a cultural anthropologist, so I need to really spend some more time digging into this. And then 41 is the newest number that's going viral, and that's due to a song called 41 Song by Blizzy Boy. Specifically this line, 41, but I got 41 gold goals, which has become the meme. Let's see it here.
41, but I got 41 goals. Watch them chain, got 41 stones. Jet check the DM, 41. She hit her with it, she's like 41 old.
throw in another one for good behavior.
This is a warning to all middle school teachers. The second version of 6'7" has been made. The number 41 has become a meme. It is still pretty niche, but I predict by the time school starts back up, it's going to be huge. I see a lot of you guys on here all the time complaining about how everyone says a 6'7" meme in your classrooms. I'm just warning you now, watch out for number 41.
Okay. Like, are we there? Do we know? Are we okay? I feel like that's a lot to comprehend. That's like, I don't think they can put the numbers into a dictionary, but these are things like if your kids or grandkids or friends' kids are like, yo, 41, that's so 41. You now be like, wait, I understand. I saw that TikTok. Oh, that's 67. I saw that TikTok. Or the butt wedgie thing out of your butt twin. You saw that at Pop Culture Mondays on Thursday. So I could go on and on with the slang. I'm going to make this more of a regular part of the series because there are a lot of people on TikTok like this guy who are breaking it down for us.
Weekly update on the words that kids are using most this week. It is August 13th, and I wrote down all the words I heard most in the classroom this week. I need to know, are you hearing the same ones, different ones? Which one of these do you need me to define for you? So coming in at number 1, it is a trending meme, and the acronym is SDIYBT. But it stands for Start Digging in Your Butt Twin. And they sing it, start digging in your butt twin. And it's just something that they are repeating incessantly. Number 2 is chopped. Everything is chopped right now. This was high. Number 1 last week. It is still very close. And number 2 this week. Number 3, aura is making a comeback. I have heard more references to positive aura and negative aura than I have in the last year. So that one's making a comeback. And then, of course, we have 6'7". Now it's starting to die down a little bit, but unfortunately there's another number that's replacing it, which is 41. So that is also coming into life. The 41 meme is starting to get in front of more kids. And then we have some honorable mentions. Chat, crash out, and op are still a regular part of their daily vernacular. Let me know what you're hearing in the comments.
So he just went over a bunch of the same things that I talk about, but he does it in a much more eloquent way. So that is it, my darlings. We did cover a lot of ground. Go see Weapons. Go watch The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox. And if you have any questions or any feedback, you know where to find me. But please click like and subscribe, whether it's to this YouTube channel, to the Spotify, to Apple, wherever you like to listen or watch your podcast. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next week.
On Thursday.